If you've got a moment, I'd like to tell you a little story about how Melbourne SEO Services got started. So if you're thinking about choosing one of our products and services, you can begin to feel more confident in us. Now the fact is, we didn't actually start out to become one of the leading SEO companies. It kind of just happened by promoting our own products and services. So to go back to the start, the way that I got my start before we turned into Melbourne SEO Services was I was in my final year of year 12, and I remember chatting with a friend, and he was telling me about how much money he was making trading the stock market while we were sitting in maths class. I wanted to learn how to make money while I was doing something else as well. I felt a little bit like the dummy. Here I was sitting in maths class not making any money while he was making loads of it, or so he told me. That was kind of the start when I first got interested in the stock market. And towards the end of my year 12, I decided, against the better advice of my friends and family, rather than go to a university course, I thought I'd take out a $5,000 loan and go do a share trading course. It was one of these courses that was going to teach me over the course of a weekend how to trade profitably, and I could be rich by the end of the month. And it all sounded fantastic, but I soon realized, once I actually got started in it, that there's a little bit more to it than that. There really is no shortcut to success. It takes time and it takes effort. So one of the lessons I learned early on was that to be successful trading, I first needed to develop a trading float. I needed to have some capital to invest. But at that point in time, I wasn't in a position. I was living at home with my mum, I had a part-time job, and I had a $5,000 loan. I was in no position to come up with a good-sized trading float to make some decent money out of trading. So a friend and I, someone who I'd met while I was doing this share trading course, he was in a similar situation as well, and we realized that people in our little community where we were learning to trade the stock market were having trouble with a particular charting package called MetaStock. Now, we were really good at this package, so we thought, why don't we create a home study course that teaches people how to use the software, we can sell it, and then make some money, and then that can get rolled into our trading float. Now, the product itself was, we put a good 6 months into it, and it did fantastically well. We got so much great feedback in our immediate community. So it sold well with the people that we did know and the people who were also doing the share course, but beyond that we didn't have much reach. At this point, you can imagine I started to get a little bit frustrated because I knew we had a fantastic product. And then that's when I made the realization, just like you might have a fantastic product, but unless people know that product exists, it's not worth anything. Now, I've always been interested in personal development and wealth creation. So I'd been along to some of these different wealth creation seminars, and I knew that marketing is where I needed to focus. And more particularly, I knew that internet marketing is where I really needed to put all of my attention. Now, this was back very early 2000 at the time, and I see myself as a little bit of a trend spotter. I can see when things are starting to take off, and then I make sure that I'm in front of that wave. And I knew that the internet was going to be huge. It already was big, but it was only going to get bigger. So I spent the next 10 or 11 years studying this topic. Now, in those early days, I actually got really frustrated because even though I was buying different ebooks and courses and software, and I was attending different workshops, I wasn't really finding anything that was working for me. It's funny, I look back now and I realize I was just jumping from one get-rich-quick scheme to the next. I kept on falling for the pitches from another sleazy salesman or guru who promised me the world, and I just kept on jumping. Now, fortunately for me, I had a product, at least I had my MetaStock programming study guide, and I was applying what I could back into selling that product, and I'd achieved a certain amount of success. And my business partner and I, we started to roll out some other products as well. We started to develop other stock market education products that were all interconnected. So we started to achieve a certain amount of success. I was getting frustrated though because I hadn't just smacked it out of the park. I hadn't had a really huge success, and I found myself amongst all of these other business owners, especially when I was jumping from these get-rich-quick schemes to the next get-rich-quick scheme. I found I was part of these business owners who just weren't quite getting the level of success that they wanted. They had a fantastic product or service, but they just didn't know how to get the word out. It was around that time that I had a little bit of an epiphany, I suppose, where I looked over everything that I'd bought and looked over everything that I'd done, and I made a decision. I said, I've learned so much information now. If I can't make myself a huge success out of what I've already learned, chances are I was never going to do it. So what I needed to do is take out of everything that I'd done, look at what was working, and just try and find that breakthrough, find out what that common element was amongst all of the different projects that I had done that were successful. I'm a little embarrassed to actually mention it, but can you believe over that time I developed over 500 different websites in hundreds and hundreds of different niches when I was trying to make things work. I had achieved a little bit of success. You know, my stock market business was probably the biggest success, but I also had all of these different sites that were just laying dormant. I'd never really done a huge amount with them. And that's when I had my breakthrough, looking across all of the different websites and all of the different things that I'd tried. The one key thing that determined whether or not a website was a success, the common element, was whether or not it had traffic. That's when I realized that traffic equals money. Because if you have a good product or service and you can then get the traffic to it, it's going to sell itself. And that's when I decided to really hone in, laser focus into driving traffic and make that the core of what it is that I wanted to become an expert at. So over the course of the next 6 months, I made it my primary focus to make sure that I could develop a traffic system that used search engine optimization that we could apply to any website. Now, I was in the fortunate position where I had 500 different websites that I could test these different strategies on. And I tested hundreds of different products and services and different methods until we perfected a system that we could apply step by step to any website that we worked on and achieve fantastic results. It was working both in the obscure niches, and once we perfected it there, then I went to my stock market business. Really, that's what it was all about for me. I had a fantastic product, and by that point we actually had a fantastic range of products. All we needed to do was to get eyeballs on them, and when we applied it, wow, it was like magic. The website just started springing up for all of these different keywords, and our business just went through the roof almost overnight. So much so that I started to have a lot of other people start to come and ask me how it was that I was doing what I was doing. You see, the stock market, as you can imagine, is a hyper-competitive niche. So many people are spending so much money in that space, and for us to come out what appeared to them almost be overnight and just start to achieve results like that, they wanted to know what it is that we were doing. So I did start to help some colleagues of mine, and they achieved similar results just by following this method that I put together for them. That's when I realized, hey, I'm onto something here, because I had friends and family starting to ask for help. I even started to help my dentist rank his website, and they were all achieving fantastic results. Now, it was really rewarding for me to see all of these guys move their businesses forward, and some of them just moved them forward so quickly because they were focusing in on the one thing. And that's when I realized my businesses were starting to suffer because I was too busy trying to help all of these other people get their businesses started. I wasn't focusing enough in on my stock market business that had treated me so well. I just wasn't giving it enough attention. So at that point, I knew we had to sit down as a team and make the decision as to what we were going to focus on. If we were going to try and focus on everything, we wouldn't get anything done. So we sat down and weighed up the pros and cons, and it's that point where we created what's now known as Melbourne SEO Services. We decided that we were a search engine optimization company that could help people move their businesses forward. And as you can see, we didn't really start out as an SEO business. We kind of fell into it because so many people wanted to know what it was that we were doing for our business. Now, I'm pretty proud to say, almost overnight, our website was a success. We had a fantastic PR campaign, we did some fantastic link building, and we boosted our website almost overnight up to position #1 for Melbourne SEO Services, and also for the very competitive phrase SEO Services, we started to go up the ranks. So as you can imagine, we had loads of new clients coming on board. We weren't expecting it, and we really didn't have the capacity to take all of them on. So we started to put some clients on a waiting list, and when we have the opportunity to take them on board, we'd let them know. But soon we realized we weren't going to get to all of the businesses, so we had to then start referring those clients off to other SEO businesses simply because we just couldn't handle the demand. So over the next 6 months, we realized we made the right decision because we had so much business and we were achieving some incredible results for our clients. You see, we developed this method in the hyper-competitive stock market niche. So when we started to apply this to smaller businesses, they were just absolutely dominating the search engines and kicking butt against all of their competition. But the problem was we just couldn't handle the volume of clients that were coming through. We had to call another team meeting with the guys at Melbourne SEO Services and say, right, what are we going to do? Because we've got a big long list of clients waiting for help, but we can't help them. We're not going to get to them for another 12 or 24 months. So at that point we thought, right, we need to document the procedure that we're going through. We need to record workshops documenting each section of our business. We ran our first workshop, which was called the Melbourne SEO Services Workshop, which has now evolved into the SEO Method 2.0. In that first course that we ran, we only limited it to 20 seats. We sold out almost immediately. The tickets were over $1,000, and the feedback that we got from that workshop was absolutely phenomenal. We had other SEO companies attending the workshop so they could learn the way that we do things and then take it off and apply it to their business. We then went on after the success of that and ran a series of other workshops, each to do with other really key important components in developing a web business. So we ran a workshop that ran specifically focused on small businesses. We ran a workshop focused on web video. We ran a workshop focused on outsourcing. And these products that just documented the way that we did things, we were blown away. I was quite humbled at some of the people that were getting to attend some of these workshops. And this probably isn't the place to start name dropping or anything like that. If you want to see some of the testimonials that we have and the people that attended, you can head over to the testimonials page and see all of the info there. But what I did want to leave you on is tell you a little bit about what Melbourne SEO Services stands for. We advise, coach, and work with people just like you who want to work less and earn more while building the business of their dreams. We do this by delivering comprehensive marketing and business courses and coaching that just focus on getting you and your website found. So in summary, I hope you can start to feel how passionate we are. We love this stuff. We love online marketing, and we'd love to help you grow your business and move it to the next level, just like we have. We want to show you what we've done. And you can rest assured, regardless of what product or service you buy from Melbourne SEO Services, you can be sure that we only put out the highest quality material. We're only going to put out content we believe in 100%, and we've tested it ourselves. In fact, I'm quite particular and anal. Every product that goes out, I have to vet first, so I can make sure that it's going out at that highest possible standard. And also it represents great value. That's another really key important thing for me. I want to make sure when you buy something that you're going to get at least 10 times the value in which you've paid for it. Because I know once you get these courses and you start to implement them in your business, you'll see how innovative we are. We run all of this material through our own business first, and we apply it to our stock market business first to know it works and prove it works before we ever bring it to you. So that's how we know that we can deliver these products that we can stand behind 100%. In fact, any of our products, if at any point in time you don't think they deliver what it is that we've promised, you can come and contact us and we'll give you 100% money back guarantee. We're that confident in our products and services. Not only that, it's extremely important to me. One of our core values is honesty and integrity. So you can believe that I'm the real deal, that I walk the walk, I talk the talk, and I can help you move your business forward. Anyway, that's how Melbourne SEO Services got started. Hopefully we can help you, and I look forward to chatting with you soon.